When the witness dissolves, no one left to watch. What remains when the one who watches disappears? When awareness no longer stands apart from what it sees, when even the silent witness dissolves into the stillness it once observed, is there anyone left? Anything? Anything at all? This is the riddle at the end of the mind, the final koan that cannot be solved, only surrendered into. For what we call awakening is not the moment you realize you are awareness, it is what comes after. When there is no one left to claim that realization, no self-watching, no center-holding, just this, without distance, without witness, without you. Let us enter, not with mind, not with concept, but with the felt hush of being, as we begin. 1. The witness as a final strategy. Many sincere seekers arrive at the threshold of deep meditation through the practice of witnessing. Watching thoughts come and go, observing breath rise and fall, noticing emotions swirl and pass like clouds in the sky. This is powerful. It detaches you from the storm. It introduces stillness. It gives you distance from pain, desire, craving, identity. But what often goes unnoticed is this. The witness is still a form of identity, still a position, still a center, a me. Behind the eyes, sitting in the shadows, calmly watching the movie. You have changed the character, but not yet left the theater. The mind, clever as ever, adapts. It says, I am not the body, I am the witness. I am not the thinker, I am the awareness of thought. But still, I am. And this I, even when subtle, remains the final veil. 2. The silent collapse of the center. True awakening begins when this witness collapses, not because you made it collapse, not because you pushed, but because the moment arrived when it could no longer be held. It is like the hands relaxing after gripping a rope for too long. You don't let go. Letting go happens to you, and in that instant there is no one letting go. The center drops, the watcher evaporates, awareness remains, but it is no longer yours. It no longer belongs to a someone. It is not, I am awareness. It is simply awareness, unclaimed, vast, unafraid, unspeakably silent. And this silence is not an absence. It is fullness, brimming presence without boundary. But there is no you to describe it. 3. Common traps along the edge of no self. At this threshold, many get frightened. The mind senses the end of itself, and like a drowning swimmer, it kicks, flails, reaches for anything. It says, this can't be right. Who will function? Won't I become passive? What's the point if there's no one left? But listen carefully. These are not the questions of truth. They are echoes of self-protection. The truth is this: function continues. Decisions happen, words arise, but they do not arise from someone. They arise from the deep intelligence of being itself. There is movement, but no mover. Speech, but no speaker. Awareness, but no watcher. This is not death. This is liberation. 4. What is it like when the witness dissolves? It is like falling backward into nothing. And realizing nothing holds you perfectly, it is like the ocean no longer noticing its own waves. Just movement, just being. You no longer say, I am present. Presence simply is. You no longer say, I see. Sight happens, and with this, the illusion of distance ends. You are no longer aware of anything. There is no subject-object gap. Instead, you become not even you. There is just becoming. And eventually even that dissolves. 5. Language, memory, and the disappearance of the I. The challenge with speaking of this is language itself. Language presumes a subject, a speaker, a center, and so even pointing to this no-self state becomes distorted. But those who've tasted it know it cannot be described, only hinted at, and it leaves a strange afterglow. You come back into memory, into personality, but something is missing. The old center is gone, the craving for reference is gone, the constant narration missing. There is a clean quietness, even in movement, even in thought. You know you are not the character anymore, but you don't feel separate from the character either. You're not outside the dream. You're not inside the dream. You're not observing the dream. You are the dream and the dreamer and the silent ground from which all dreaming arises. 6. Daily life after dissolution. Paradoxically, when the witness dissolves, life becomes easier, not harder. You do what needs doing, but without weight, without inner commentary. You speak when speaking happens. You act when action arises. You rest when rest arises. You are not efforting to be present. Presence simply permeates all. And when difficulty comes, it arises in stillness. Pain does not have a center. Fear does not have a name. It moves, and it passes. You have not become a blank void. You have become spacious being, and it moves in the world without clinging. 7. Can this be practiced? Not directly. The witness cannot dissolve itself, but you can cultivate the conditions, and you can recognize the signs. You begin by sincerely witnessing, without strategy, without seeking a reward. Then you let even witnessing be witnessed. You begin to notice the subtle I behind the watching, and one day, that too becomes transparent. You cannot force this, but you can become quiet enough, still enough, trusting enough to let it happen. Like a drop of ink disappearing into the ocean, you won't know the moment it happens, but once it does, you cannot go back. 8. Mystics who spoke of this dissolution. Throughout history, the deepest sages have pointed here, but always indirectly. The Buddha did not say you are awareness. He said no self, and then went silent. Lao Tzu wrote verses that dissolved the knower in mystery. Ramana pointed not to who we are, but to what remains when all questioning stops. Even the great Christian mystics hinted, I live, yet not I, Christ in me, but not me. And in every case there is a sacred hush, a refusal to give the mind another concept to cling to, because what is being pointed to is not an insight, not a feeling, not even an experience. It is the absence of experiencer and the fullness that remains. 9 final doorways into the dissolution. If you wish to approach this mystery, do not look for a method. Instead, be still. Let all ideas of awakening dissolve. Let the witness grow tired. Let your effort burn itself out. And then, sitting in that vast quiet, notice what remains. Not you, not your consciousness, just consciousness. No borders, no edge, no one to claim it. This is the doorway. It opens when there is no one left to walk through. Mystical reflection. So when the witness dissolves, is there peace? Yes, but not the peace of someone at rest. Rather, the peace that was always there once the one searching for it disappears. It is not silence observed. It is silence being. It is not liberation claimed. It is freedom so natural, no one is left to speak its name. Let this transmission soak in, not as knowledge, but as the loosening of the knower. Don't try to hold it, let it evaporate. And perhaps, in that gentle absence, you will notice you were never the witness, you were what the witness appeared within. And now even that is gone. If this doorway stirred something in your being, let it deepen. Let it work on you in silence. And if you feel called to explore more transmissions like this, please subscribe to the channel and become a member if it serves your path. Your presence here is part of this living stillness. We are not gathering followers. We are remembering silence together. Next episode preview. In our next sacred transmission, we will ask pure consciousness with no content. Can it be sustained? Is it possible to live in that empty clarity, not just in meditation, but in daily life? We'll explore what it means to abide as awareness, even when the world pulls you back into form.